Alright, welcome back to the 5e Frontier, folks. I hope you've all had a good break. I certainly have. So I think without further ado, we'll jump directly back into the action. When we left our adventurers, they were leaving the healing tent after having quite a extensive conversation with the proprietor, or the person working in the tent at the time, a healer woman, a priestess called Ramanathan. She was Malak, one of their healers, but her magic was very much overly stressed at the moment, given the number of injuries the people of the town have sustained to the bow recently. You're able to help her out a bit with Cowardice's healing magic, and you're able to have a bit of a conversation, get some information. Leaving and heading to the bar, as is tradition, you notice that some of the bow prisoners being held in the town, they seem to recognize you, or at least your garb, and they seem quite excited, a couple of them talking to each other. Rewy noticed this out of the corner of his eye, and as you guys were crossing the road, you were deciding whether or not you wanted to go and speak to them. So I'll put the ball back in you guys' court here. Are you heading to the bar, or are you going to go and speak to to these bow prisoners?
We should head to the prisoners, I think.
Yes.
I think it's worth speaking to them, at least trying to determine whether or not they speak High Imperial, or a sub-genre of High Imperial.
Yeah, you're aware that Running River mentioned when you first encountered the bow that they are capable of speaking High Imperial. Like they could just about form the words, but they're not as social as humanoids usually are. They're not social creatures. So they don't, like, a lot of the time they just don't really learn to speak it. They just speak they do their own thing. But they may well speak Imperial, or at least know enough words in it to communicate. So are you heading over now?
Yeah, we'll send our language and survival specialist out first, I think. Straight towards the cage full of crocodile people.
Yeah, I'll happily skirt around the edge so I can speak to them without jumping in the in the ring as such.
I mean, is it just like a pasture fence? So it's like a chest-high fence?
Yeah, it's a chest-high fence. They're quite heavily tied up, these bow. And by the look of it, as you head over, it is guarded by a couple of warriors, Malak descent. By the look of it, they're the same ethnicity as Ramanathan was. And they've got hide shields and like long sky metal tipped spears that seem to be wickedly sharp.
Perhaps speaking to the guard first would be wise.
I think that's probably the best course of action.
Well, I'll let you do that. I'm not the best with people I don't know.
I'll give it a go. And I guess I'll stroll on over to the guards.
Yeah. One of the guards kind of steps forwards and he says, "Halt. Who are you and what do you want with the prisoners?"
My name is Garrick. I'm sure you don't recognize my style of clothing. A lot of people haven't seemed to. My tribe is fairly scattered. We noticed that the bow that you have here seem to recognize our clothing. We'd like to speak to them to see if we can find the rest of the members of our tribe.
He shrugs and says, "I don't see why not. We will be present, of course.
Of course.
For your safety."
Thank you.
They're vicious. Be careful with them. Don't approach. They may look harmless now that we've declawed them, but their teeth are still vicious.
I'll keep that in mind. We did have a dealing them with some of them on the way here.
He nods and says, I hope you gave better than you received.
I'll
Some
point to the
did.
backpack.
He just kind of looks at you and says, why have you not disposed of it?
In case I need it.
He just looks at one of the other guards and looks back at you. But and then they just think better of challenging you on it. Like it just seems
it's a look Calidus is all too familiar with. Like they don't know my motives. I'm
like,
of a higher course than them.
yeah, like you're not sure if they have pay grades, but if they did, this would be above it.
Yeah.
There's people in your party that don't know your motives here, mate. So don't worry.
Yeah. I'm banking on it.
I say, can I go in, get a little closer, at least so they can hear me, so I don't have to shout?
He says, I'd prefer if you didn't. Again, for your own safety, there's 5 of them.
Yes.
If they rush you, we won't be able to protect you.
I'll be fine.
They shrug and say, we warned you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll start removing anything that could be used as a weapon off my person. Handing it to everyone else. And I'm going to hop the fence.
Yeah.
I'm going to hop and keep very close to him.
I'm going to sit there with a blaster kind of like hidden but ready to fire just in case.
I want to. I'll give Calidus my auto bow. Just.
I'll keep my hand ready on the pull to rev it up, just in case.
Sure. Half chainsaw, half crossbow. It's a Thorian weapon, the auto bow. The limbs of the crossbow are drawn back several times a second by a very powerful internal combustion engine built into the stock. It can fire crossbow bolts like it's a submachine gun.
Very useful.
Yes. But yeah, the two of you hop the fence. The bow kind of like take a few steps back at this. Like they glance at each other. Like they get kind of low to the ground. By the look of their builds, but you get a bit of a closer look now than the last time you saw one. It seems that they could kind of switch between bipedal and quadrupedal modes of movement. So while they're not quite, it seems that they're not really as efficient on 2 legs as you are. They could probably put on quite significantly bursts of speed on 4 legs and outpace you over a short distance.
Yep. I want to stop about halfway between them and the fence, so about the halfway point. I'll be approaching kind of with my palms facing them, like in a non-aggressive manner, but I want to at least try and walk with confidence. That's the kind of vibe I want to give off.
Sure. I think this calls for an ability check. I think performance fits the bill best here, but a case could be made for other skills.
Could I do intimidation?
Yeah.
I want to show them that I'm just not scared of them,
yeah,
even though they almost killed me earlier.
Well, these ones didn't, but
yeah.
No, the ones that nearly killed you were dead.
Yes.
One escaped with 3rd-degree burns covering 98% of his body.
And the other's a backpack.
Yeah.
That was one of the juveniles, to be fair, the backpack.
I got 10.
10. So, like, they back off a little bit, but not a great deal. It seems that there's kind of like a group a group consensus being built as to whether they're going to try and rush you or not. It could go either way at the moment.
Okay. I'll stop there, and I'll say, can you understand me well enough to reply?
They kind of look at each other, and then one of them one of the second biggest of the group, it seems. He kind of steps forwards just a little bit. They're all kind of crouching as if they're about to like switch to all fours motion. He says, "I understand you, Skyman."
That will make things a lot easier. We saw that you and your group here recognized us to some extent. I want to ask you why. People we've encountered here haven't recognized us in any way so far. You are the first.
He kind of moves his head side to side, like his tongue flicks out a couple of times. You note that it is forked. He says, "Yes, I recognize your clothing. You are a Skyman."
So you have encountered our people before. Where?
He says, "We hold many warriors of your tribe. They have great weapons." "I will take you to them."
You say hold. That sounds like you have them prisoner.
He mulls the word over in his head and he says, "You have us prisoner."
Yes. Well, I don't have you prisoner. The people of this village do. We are not from here.
He frowns. He clearly doesn't. He clearly doesn't make a distinction.
Fair. How many of my people do you have?
Many, many, many.
Are they being? Where can we find them? I would like to confirm their existence.
I am not stupid, Skyman. I will take you to them.
I'm going to do something incredibly stupid here, and I'm just going to turn around. Like, I'm going to leave my back to them, and I'm just going to start slowly walking off.
What's Zitai gonna do? All
right. Keep eyes locked and walk backwards.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do the whole put hands behind back and just nonchalantly stroll off.
Yeah, sure. Can you give me an ability check for playing hard nose with them?
Sure. Can I make a deception check?
Bold move, Garrick.
To disguise the fact that you are actually desperate for this information.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to use my Tide to Chaos on this part.
Okay.
Is this where you do fireball and they all die?
I mean, if I want it back, I have to roll on it. Well, they were both 4s, so there was no point. So I got an 11 total.
11. Yeah. As you back up, like they close in around you as you back up, but not fast enough that you're not already out by the time they get close to you. It's just they're kind of moving at pace with you.
Yeah, like I mean, I wouldn't hop the fence again. I'd stop on the edge of the fence, and I'd like nod towards the guards to see if they can come and speak to me at the fence.
Yeah, they're already standing pretty close to the fence with like their spears raised in one hand and shields in the other, ready to like leap the fence and try and come to your aid if they did attack you.
Yeah. And I'll just start. I'll address the guards and be like, so the people, some of my people that I told you about. It seems that they are holding some of them prisoner in their village. Do you know where their village is?
He says, yes, there are, well, they don't really have villages, the Bow. They have temporary settlements up around the lake to the northeast of here. Two of them are larger than the rest. Bolabao, for which the lake is named, and Bolak.
I'm just going to lean over to Garrick and go, I think that's enough information to be getting on with. We can scout with that.
I would still like to see if I can get more.
Are these settlements underwater?
He says, no, they're not. I've never been. As I understand it, they are built on stilts in the marshy shallows of the lake. This is where they lay their spawn.
I'll turn towards the bow again. They're now a lot closer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With him turning to face them, I would like to ready an action to
Yeah.
throw Garrick over the fence.
Noted.
If they start like rushing for attack.
I assume you'll rage at the same time. I'll allow it.
Yes.
I'll say, well, we've already dealt with a number of your hunting parties on the way here. I'm sure a village or two isn't much of a stretch with the rest of my tribe that we found. I don't need you to show me the way if I can just head there myself and free my people.
He says, you can try, but the omens favor us.
You can believe in whatever omens you will. All that will happen is, I'll point towards the backpack. You'll just become new pieces of bags or slippers for us.
One of the guards says, they do make good boots.
I'll nod along with that. I'm like, well, it seems like they will.
Yeah.
If you don't want to cooperate, just leave you here.
Yeah, the bow flicks his tongue out a couple of times and steps to one side, then steps to the other, but they all kind of like disperse at this point.
Yep, that's fair.
As they move, you note that they all seem quite unsteady on their feet. These ones, it seems like they use their claws quite a bit in their in their movement, like feeling their position and things.
I'll just say as they walk off. Well, if you have no more information you wish to give me, farewell. Good luck.
Is not needed.
I'll turn around to the guard. So, what is their destiny like? What is to become of them?
The guard says, either we'll exchange them for prisoners or we'll throw them in the lake. Not a good way to go.
Well, have a good swim. And I'll hop the fence.
Yeah. He flicks his tongue out a couple of times but doesn't speak to you any further.
Yep. Okay. So, it seems like at least a few of our people are with the bow.
Well, we'll deal with the botflies, get everyone up to full strength, and if we can make a trade with the Yoruba, who knows? Maybe we can raid them, free our people.
We could trade the idea of us raiding them for an orb.
If they have one. My concern here is they may be getting more aggressive because of the weapons our people can give them.
That is probably true. However, they won't be proficient with them compared to us.
Yet, all it takes is one lucky shot from a blaster.
Doesn't even need to be just blasters. If they've got more of our shuttles, they've got the sky metal they need. Force multiply.
I think perhaps we could go another route with this. If we could convince Ramanathan to heal us here. If there is, I'll turn to the guard real quick and go, is there someone in charge of this settlement that we can speak to?
He frowns and says, "Oh no, there's nobody's in charge here."
Is anyone? Do you have someone that you report to yourself as a guard?
He kind of looks at the other one, and then he says, "Well, we're the, we're guards. That's what we do. We came here with Ramanathan. We travelled up here a couple of weeks ago."
Okay. I guess who decides how the city works, or the town works?
What do you mean?
The
lake? The lake decides?
I guess.
Who's going to decide the
fate of the prisoners?
Yeah, fate.
Bo will, if they trade any prisoners.
Who will the bow speak to arrange this trade?
He shrugs, says, "I don't know."
Well, it seems like.
Don't think we're going to get any further here.
Yeah. We'll probably organise a raid of our own over the next few days once people recover a little. Then whoever looks like they're going to be best suited to it will do it.
Fair way of working things, I assume. But I doubt we'll get any more information here. So, off to the tavern for us, I think.
Yes. I'll thank the guards, and we'll head to the tavern.
Yeah, they nod and go back to their guarding of the bow.
I'll hand your auto bow back to you as well.
Thank you.
Say thank you for letting me hold it, because it's a rather cool piece of machinery. I like it.
When it works.
Yeah. Don't say that in earshot of the bow, mind you.
I'll try not to.
I mean, if we attach the bow backpack I have to your auto bow, we can make an auto bow, which would be really cool. I think that might be a bit of an arc. I'm metagaming there, so we're going to carry on.
At some point, we're going to make it like bowskin grips or something.
Yeah, the auto bow.
Nice.
Let's Monster Hunter the shit out of it.
Yeah. Have it fire little rockets. Or have it fire a bow, then it's a bow gun.
Gun.
Yeah, quite literally.
Okay, so you guys head over to the bar. It's one of the larger buildings on the in the town, or commune as you might more accurately call it, given the way they organize themselves. They like heading in. It's quite well lit, much more well lit than the dingy hospital building was. There is a roaring fire in the center of the large building. The building's only one room. There are a couple of large barrels up against one wall, and people just are pouring from them. They seem to be the people here seem to be gathering on benches around the fire. There are a few tables where people are playing like games by the look of it. That you don't recognize the games just by looking. But it seems that everybody it's quite packed. There's maybe 40, 50 people in here. There's even a couple of Yoruba lying down next to the fire, eating a large haunch of some kind of dinosaur by the look of it. Nobody really pays you much mind as you head in. There doesn't seem to be a bar or anything, or it's not like a business as you'd expect to see in an imperial, imperial bar or whatever.
It's more like the ale tent we found when we were in the Yoruba camp.
Yeah, in fact, it's exactly like that, just on a much bigger scale.
I'm gonna go looking about for what alcohol they've got. I'm specifically looking for a wine or a wine alternative.
Yeah, so there are a few casks they've got. They see a couple of casks are a kind of a very weak beer by the look of it. It's quite sweet, this beer. It probably feels like it's got honey in it, and it's quite weak. Probably you can just about tell that it's alcoholic, but you could probably drink these all night and only get a bit tipsy. There's a couple of stronger beers. There's a mead as well, which is really quite strong. That's probably the closest you're getting to wine here. And they also have a very, very distilled spirit in a small cask as well, but nobody really drinks that as much. It seems it's not as popular as the beers. The sweet honey beer seems to be the most popular beverage.
Yeah. I mean, no one's paying for anything here, right? It's like the other one where they just kind of take.
Yeah, they're just taking, they're just taking their fill.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a bit of the very much distilled spirit, and I'll take some of the closest to wine that they have.
Yeah,
and put it in little in water skins. What were we using for those again? It was like a root, right? That we made.
Yeah, it was the hollowed vine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hollowed vine. Yeah.
Yeah. You might be able to get actual water skins now that you're in a town. If only you had some currency to trade.
Yeah. I mean,
we've got a bowskin backpack. We can trade that, right?
Yeah.
Just fill that.
It is currently sentient, mind you, but we could still trade it. I mean, that kind of dips into slavery though, but we're not human trafficking yet.
Yeah. No, we're not becoming the system we oppose. Let's not do that.
Is it animal husbandry at this point? Because it's not fully
livestock trading.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
I mean, the Empire would consider the slave trade livestock trading. They would consider that.
Yeah. I mean, if you know something will one day be sentient and fully humanoid, is it trading slaves?
Yes.
Put your cap with the skull on it, and ask the question.
Yeah, I think I'll while we're in this tent, I'll take the time to take my backpack off and sit him on a chair and just talk to him for a while. See how he's doing. He can't understand me at all, but I can't understand him either.
As you sit the bow on the chair, a couple of humans or humanoids get up and approach you. They're quite burly, these two guys. They've got very, very pale skin. You've seen people from this tribe before and interact with them a little bit, but you don't really know much about them. One of them says, "What the fuck are you doing, bringing one of those in here?" As he kind of does square up to you a little bit, and like people are starting to take notice of this.
From the other side of him, Zitai's just going to stand up, like, and flex a little as he's leaning over Caldas.
I mean, just sort of no need to Zitai, not at the moment anyway. And let him know that I didn't see a dress code on the door, and this is my backpack.
Okay. I think you're going to need to give me some kind of charisma-based check.
Yeah, I'll go straight charisma.
He does not seem happy.
Yeah, it'll be okay. It's a 21.
Wow.
Yeah. So like he squares up to you still, but he doesn't like pass that distance when he's like properly squaring up to you. Like he's a bit taller than you, as he's a native of Shrike. In a low gravity environment, he's going to be a bit taller. So he's not like fully bearing down on you, but he doesn't back down. He says, "These bastards killed my brother. Why the fuck are you bringing one into the ale house?"
Don't worry, I killed all of his brothers. I think we're even.
Yeah. Are you playing that to the crowd at all? Because some people are starting to pay attention and watch.
Yeah, it's more of a performance. This one. It's more of a performance. Well, I killed all of his brothers. How many have you killed? Like, I think we're even. I think I've repaid your brother's debt tenfold.
Yeah, sure. Give me a performance check then, George.
Okay. That's a 13.
13. So he kind of like he looked a bit offended and upset by this. Again, he doesn't get any closer to you, but his mate kind of is like he moved forward a little bit so that he's kind of in contact with the first guy, like the first guy's back of his shoulder. So like he's physically like supporting his mate with his presence. He says, "I don't give a shit how many you killed. They killed my brother. There's no man. You can kill all of them. It won't bring him back."
Can I quickly look around the room to see how many other people there are in here that look like these two gentlemen?
Ethnically or attitudely?
Like a bit of both. I'd like to see if there's anyone that else would back them up, and whether anyone in the crowd is agreeing with them.
So there's not many people who share his ethnicity, though. While ethnicity is kind of an all-right guide to what tribe someone's from, there's no hard and fast rules. Like people do switch. It's not it's not uncommon, though it's uncommon enough that there are still ethnic distinctions. But there aren't many people of these guys' ethnicity. Like they're in a minority here. They're like the crowd itself seems to be split sort of 50-50 between kind of amused at the whole situation or kind of pissed off that you brought a bow in here. Nobody right now. They're not the flavor of the month.
Yeah, I'm kind of reading this situation as people amused at the situation aren't really going to back me up, but people pissed off of the situation will definitely back someone else up.
Yeah, like you might be able to play it where if you get people laughing, it'll lighten the mood and diffuse things a bit, but nobody's gonna like come and back you up here directly.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking if this roll goes bad, I'm gonna have to try and kill two humanoids in a bar full of people, which is not the direction I really want to go.
Come on,
you won't have to.
You don't murder
Zitai's already
people in a barroom brawl, George.
No,
That's escalation.
You go outside.
Calidus does.
Yeah.
Make sure you go.
Give him a black eye, like
Yeah.
Out maybe.
Hey,
I mean, with his friend backing him up, I assume Zitai is standing a bit closer now, and I'm kind of okay with it.
I'm
also being backed up. Yeah. I'm going to say
cracks his neck.
I'm going to say, like, completely out of character in the situation, as we've just been having obviously a bit of a squaring off match of each other. Can I get you gentlemen a drink? But clearly in a piss-taking way, as in like, you've had too much to drink already. Would you like another one?
Okay.
Intimidation, basically.
Yeah. Give me an intimidation check.
Okay.
See if you can like make him back down.
Please go well. That'll be a 7.
A 7. All right. He takes a swing at you.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, like you can see him kind of winding up to it. Like he's not a trained fighter. Like it's not a very well executed punch. Like you can see him kind of like winding it back. Like nobody's taught him how to throw a punch properly. You are a lot harder than he is. You're pretty sure he can't take you. How are you going to play this? Because you're combat hardened at this point. Like you understand what's about to go down here, and you'll be quicker off the mark than he will be if you want to be. How are you playing this? How's Cowardice going to play this?
I'm going to take the punch to the face and intimidate him.
Sure. And what about Zitai?
He's swinging. Like, Carlos is being swung at. I'm just going to step around and, like, Spartan kick the dude in the chest.
Sure.
Not even raging. Just, nope. Like, straight up punt him straight in the chest.
Sure. So you are aware that I think I'll say you're aware of what Cowardice is trying to do here.
Okay.
If you can like you're also combat hardened. Like you're also aware that he's planning on just taking it because he'd be defending himself otherwise. You can still Spartan kick him if you want. Like you're different people with different approaches.
I'll Spartan kick his mate, who's like obviously leaning into his shoulder to egg him on into this. So I'm going to Spartan kick his mate for helping. Yeah, whilst the guy's punching Cowardice. Turn this into a proper barroom brawl.
Okay. No D&D game is complete without at least one barroom brawl after all. So yeah, I'll make his attack roll against Cowardice. Marat, if you want to make an attack roll.
Can't take these guys anywhere, can we, Garrick?
Just sit back and watch.
I think that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah, he has a 19, so he will land the hit.
He does.
It will deal 1 point of damage to you.
That's brilliant. I'd like to Riley's smile.
Yeah, an unarmed strike from somebody not especially strong or especially good at fighting.
So I got an 8.
Yeah, and it won't hit. Like you plant your foot in his chest and he staggers back a bit, but he doesn't fall over. Like as this happens, like George, like you take the blow in the face. Like you feel like he's not broken your nose, but like you felt kind of a pop when he hit you. You're probably gonna have a nosebleed at least. So you've probably got a few seconds, you reckon, before blood starts coming out of your nose. Your head's spinning a little, but you've taken worse hits. You think that what you do in the next second and a half or so will determine how this situation will escalate or de-escalate from here. What are you going to do?
I'm going to after taking the punch in the face, stand very still again and said, "I asked if you gentlemen would like a drink."
Okay.
Intimidation again.
Sure. Yeah, give me another intimidation check.
That's a 3, and that 1.
Oh,
We're brawling.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
So he says, "A drink, and then a couple of others stand up and says, and says, "You can drink the fucking lake." And then a couple of others step forwards towards you, and I think this is probably a good point to call an end to the session. As many of the patrons of this particular establishment are going to take it upon themselves to thoroughly throw you out, it seems.
Wait, I have
try.
one quick question. Is there only the one door in and out of the tavern?
Yes.
Damn it.
But yeah, so until next week, we've been the 5e Frontier. We'll pick back up again, same time on a Monday evening, to find out what the fallout of this bar brawl is going to be. And until next time, you can catch up with our content on YouTube. We're uploading three videos a week